In this video, I want to talk about twin flame union, twin flame reunion, and the work we need to put in order to get there. I have other videos where I talk more in depth about what the actual work is, what your twin flame mirrors you, the four main things that they show you, that they mirror you, the 4 reasons why you're not in union yet. You can check out that video. I repeat it very briefly. The first reason, or the first thing your twin flame mirrors back to you, is your own old fears of loss, neglect, and abandonment. That can be childhood wounds, most likely something that happened within our first 7 years, unless there may have been a trauma later on. So it's important to, for example, work with your inner child or rewrite your past. Use the revision technique. Use Ho'oponopono, whatever technique is the best for you personally, but put in the work to clear that. Our attachment style often gets created in early childhood, in the first 7 years of our lives, and those determine if later on we develop the anxious or the avoidant attachment style, or the anxious avoidant attachment style, or a healthy attachment style. So it's important to read about that. I do have videos about the attachment styles. It's important to do whatever you can to get into the healthy attachment style. The second thing your twin flame is mirroring back to you is your own self-concept, your self-love. If you don't take your own needs serious, if you put everybody in front of your own needs, how are they supposed to choose you, show you that you're important, make you a priority if you've never made yourself a priority? How are they supposed to show you love if you don't love yourself, if you always criticize your own self, if you're unhappy with anything, the way you look, the way you act, or you think you're not smart enough, you think you're not rich enough, you think you're not young enough, whatever it is, they have to mirror that back to you by not choosing you. The third is they mirror you your assumptions about preferred gender, so men, women, love, and relationship in general. Do we have assumptions like relationships are hard, the good ones are already taken, love hurts, always get heartbroken, always get cheated on? Those kind of assumptions, well, they will have to mirror those back to you until you do the work and change them. And then, last but not least, they mirror you back your assumptions about them. Do you see them as the one who's ghosting you, the one who's always withdrawing, the one who's not ready for a relationship, the one who's still with another person, the narcissist? As long as you hold on to that image in yourself about them, it will stay. It is your job to do the work in order to reprogram that. You can do that by the revision technique. I do have a video on that. You can do that with affirmations, affirmations, scripting, visualizations, daydreaming. There are different methods. I do have an entire playlist about them, about how to manifest. But it is important that you sit down and you reprogram your mind. And yes, it takes a while. It takes daily repetition and it takes persistence. Studies show that a thought, an assumption that you think about 10,000 times creates a new belief, and your beliefs manifest. So if you think, oh, I did Ho'oponopono like 3 times one day, and once a month or so I do an meditation, yeah, I did like meditations about healing my inner child probably like 4 times, not going to work. Constant repetition. Pick a topic. If you say, okay, I want to work on my inner child and clear my childhood wounds, pick a meditation and listen to that daily for several weeks and stay on your mental diet. For example, you work with affirmations. And as we said earlier, it may take 10,000 repetitions, which means sit down a couple of minutes per day, every day for multiple weeks to get to that 10,000. But it's important to stay on your mental diet. If you make your affirmations, another thing is you need to focus on your affirmations. And if you don't stay on your mental diet for the rest of the day, meaning you get back into lack mentality, oh, they're still not coming, how long is this taking, they're not reaching out, why are they still with the other person, what's going on, all of that lack mentality is like you do your work and then you cancel it right away. So staying on your mental diet is the most important of those practices, to learn that, to learn to reroute your thoughts. It's normal when negative thinking comes up. It's completely normal and it's fine. It's how do you handle it what's important. If, for example, they're still with a third party and you keep thinking about the karmic, the third party, you can use the I remember when technique and put it into the past. Yeah, I remember they used to be with someone else, but now they're with me. I am the one they're with. Because the universe gives you what you think about. So if you see them with another person, you're never going to manifest that they're going to choose you. You have to start getting into the energy of being the one for them. How do you do that? Well, again, you can do that by affirmations by visualizing them being with you, inner dialogues, talking to them as if they were there. Your subconscious mind won't know the difference. But in order to rewire your brain, it does take that repetition, and then you will form new synapses in your brain, new pathways, you could say, in your brain. Because you've been thinking the old way for so long. Of course, it is not easy to change that. It does take repetition and practice with everything. And that is something I get from spiritual people. And yeah, I can be a bit lazy too, so it's something I had to learn as well. I was arrogant, like, yeah, I did like a meditation, and you feel this relief right afterwards, but it's not enough to be sunk in. If you are someone like this who everything, or pretty much everything, was always very easy for you, you still need to put in the work. This would not be that easy. I mean, it's not hard, basically. It's just repetition. You need to put in the work. The thing itself, to visualize, to daydream, that is something that's quite simple. It does take your focus and your determination. Think about other things you've learned. Maybe you've learned to play an instrument. You did not pick up that, let's say, guitar, and you were the best guitar player in 3 days. No, you had to practice every day, or at least almost every day for a whole while to become really good. Or singing, training your voice, getting your driver's license. Every new skill, it does take practice and constant repetition. Maybe when you started driving your car and you were overwhelmed with all of this, especially if it was like in a city and there were all the traffic lights and you were absolutely overwhelmed, and then later on you just get into your car and you don't even have to think about it because it's automatic, because you've trained your brain to do that. We have to train our brain not to step into the negative lack mentality, but step into the energy of what we want to experience, to change the assumptions. Like learning to walk as a child, it took training. And many people unfortunately think, no, I can just do it occasionally. It is important to stay on your mental diet daily. And as a coach for me, it is so frustrating when you have clients and they just call you, oh, how's it going on? I'm also a psychic medium, a card reader. I read tarot cards and Lenormand cards and other cards. And they just want to know what's going to happen next. I always try to tell them, well, it's up to you. The future is not set in stone. You get to recreate. And if you don't change anything on your inside, well, it's not going to change. So this is kind of frustrating if people don't put in the work. And some clients I've known for years and there was zero progress in years. And it doesn't matter how often I try to nudge them into the right direction. They're just, okay, yeah, I do it. And then they don't. Because they just want that person to come and pick you. I don't know why. They don't do the work. And then there's other clients who do put in the work. And then it's amazing to see them grow and to hear the success stories. Even with those who've been on a journey for years, like 11 years. And then they change and then they get that union. Or one lady, 40 years. And then she started working on her assumptions and she's making major progress. And he told her he loved her the first time after 40 years. So it's not important how long you're on the journey. The journey, it has no expiration date. It's not it usually always takes like 5 years and then you're done. It depends on how committed you are to put into work, to reprogram your thoughts, your mind, to hold your new assumptions, to learn to stay on your mental diet. But it's constant repetition. And a journey like this, any divine counterpart or even a karmic, it's not a sprint, it really is a marathon. And if you don't train for that marathon, you're not going to finish. Sorry. It does require training. It does require work. What kind of work? I do have other videos for that. But please, If you want to get to your goal, don't just sit there and pray they will come back, or be mad at them, or call them a narcissist for not coming. How is a mirror supposed to show you something else all of a sudden if you don't put something else in front of it? You have to change on the inside, and then you will see. You have to plant your seeds and water them and take care of them in order to harvest. If you need help with that, you can check out my other content. You can reach out for personal coaching. Please help me by liking, subscribing, sharing this video. Let's help the entire Twin Flame Collective by spreading this kind of information, by kicking their butts a little bit to do the work. If you want to help me a little more and this video really helped you, my PayPal link is below if you want to leave a little tip. And I do see you in another video. I do see you in personal coaching. Until then, I do wish you all the best now. Bye-bye. And now get to work.